It's been a wild real estate ride over the last few years. After a red-hot market characterized by bidding wars, low interest rates and elevated prices, mortgage rates increased to the highest level in 20 years, leading to a slowdown of both buying activity and purchase prices. Yet, with inventory still low, home price tags remain high in many parts of the US. There are plenty of predictions about where the housing market is going in 2023. But what about farther out? After all, buying a home often requires long-term planning. We asked several residential real estate experts to peer into their crystal balls and give us a 5-year forecast of the housing market. Here's looking at you, 2028. The forecast for mortgage rates and types mortgage interest rates could continue to increase for a few weeks or months, says Yoon, adding that 7% looks to be the level for the rest of this year and most of next year. Within 2 years, the rate should return to 5.5% or 6%, he adds. Nanayakara Skillington agrees, predicting rates will drop to about 6% by the middle of 2024. Because the rates are high, Yoon foresees a greater interest in adjustable rate mortgages, ARMs, through next year. However, after that, he predicts 90% of Americans will return to the traditional 30-year fixed mortgage route. Greg McBride, CFA, Bankrate chief financial analyst, agrees, stating that the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage will remain the dominant product. It provides the certainty borrowers want, lenders can sell them to investors, and there is a vibrant secondary market of global investors eager to buy them, he says. Predictions for home prices: Yoon foresees zero or minor changes in purchase price tags on a nationwide basis next year, with increases or decreases of about 5%. The only exception is California, he says, where the market could see 10% declines. Because it's so expensive, California is always the most vulnerable to changes in interest rates. Overall, in 5 years, he expects prices to have appreciated a total of 15 to 25%. McBride has a similar perspective. He predicts home prices will average low to mid-single-digit annual appreciation over the next 5 years. This rate of appreciation, he says, is consistent with the long-term average of home prices increasing by a rate that hovers a percentage point above the inflation rate. Will the housing market crash? While it's been showing bubble-like properties, Yoon does not expect the residential real estate market to violently pop. Although he predicts that sales will be at a low point next year, with only 5.3 million units sold, he foresees a gradual increase afterwards, up to an annual 6 million units by 2027. Despite the higher mortgage rates, home prices are still above what they were 1 year ago, he adds. Even if they decline 5%, or 10% in California, next year, that's not close to crashing, which is characterized by a 1/3 drop. A 30% decrease will not happen because there isn't enough inventory, he explains. A crash happens with oversupply. He believes the housing shortage will continue this year, with the supply balancing out by 5 years. Will it become a buyer's market? Yoon expects the seller's market to continue, while housing inventory remains low. By 5 years, though, he foresees a balanced market, where neither the buyer or seller holds sway. Instead, the negotiating power between parties will be more equal and depend on the individual case. Caroline Feeney, executive editor, Home Light, feels the shift away from a seller's market has already begun. According to a recent survey the company conducted, only 51% of Home Light agents described their current local market as a seller's market. She also expects a balanced market within a few years, where and what sort of homes will be built. With hybrid work schedules becoming the norm and commuting no longer as relevant, Yoon predicts the suburban market will continue to be strong. Meanwhile, 55% of top Home Light agents believe the markets that heated up the quickest during the pandemic, including Austin, Phoenix and Boise, are likely to be the first to cool down and see the biggest decreases during a market correction, says Feeney. Yoon expects growth in areas with rising populations, namely the Carolinas, Florida, Texas and Tennessee. Backing up his prediction, 50% of new single-family construction is in the South, notes Nanayakara Skillington. The number of single-family homes under construction has decreased over the last 4 months. In contrast, the number of multi-family homes under construction has increased over the last few years, says Feeney, who credits this growth in part to their lower price tags. Apartments tend to be cheaper than detached houses, and the pressure on municipalities to relieve shortages and provide more affordable housing. Still, with high mortgage rates and inflationary building material prices, Nanayakara Skillington expects the multi-family market's growth to stabilize within a few years, with the number of new starts decreasing 8% in 2023 and another 5% in 2024.